on WVJS Cable Channel 2. Now, let's go trackside.
Hi, racing fans. It's me again, Clint Goins. David Wallace is racing a stock car at about this moment at Kentucky Motor Speedway in Whitesville. Rusty Sharp is on the radio, so you're stuck with me. But have no fear. I have moved up now to the Rusty Sharp graduate course of today at Ellis Park, and I'm sure we'll get through this evening just fine. Let's go to race number 1, shall we? The first race at Ellis Park this evening was 6.5 furlongs long for maiden fillies and mares 3 years old and up. We have a field of 12 going postward for a claiming tag of $5,000. Let's see the post parade. Number 1 is Hugo Point. Danny Soto, the jockey. Number 1A, there it is, Grease My Palms. Frank Huff will be aboard. J.T. Burkhart trained both 1 and 1A. 2, Game Try. Bobby LaRue, the trainer. Kevin Albritton, the jockey. Number 3, Pence's Plaything. Ron Chandler will be aboard. Ronald L. Woods, or W. Woods, trained this horse. 4, Billy Go Lightly. Danny Cox aboard. There goes number 6 right quick, Patsy's Pride. Steve Ray will ride Patsy's Pride. Now we're looking for number 5, maybe. Is this 5? Yes, it is. Lady Do. Jerry Hammond trained the horse. Greg Schaefer will be the jockey. Number 7 is Henry's Choice. Fred De La Guardia aboard. Arthur Marks, the trainer, for Henry's Choice. Number 8, Puffles. William Trollo, the jockey. Forrest Kalin, the trainer. 9, M. Malou, perhaps. M-I-L-I-E-U. Eusebio Razo Jr., the jockey. Number 10, Comliest. James L. Newman, the trainer. Darrell Foster, the jockey. And number 11, Boogaloo Betty. Owned and trained by Marion L. Thomason. Mitchell Humphrey will be aboard on number 11. Now, in the track handicapper on the morning line, I should say, liked 8, 9, and 4, that being Puffles, M. Malou, and Billy Go Lightly. Let's see how the patrons bet them. There we go. Number 8 is at 7-2, and so is number 4. Number 4, Billy Go Lightly, and number 8, Puffles. Number 9 is at 2-1. That's M. Malou. Number 1, Hugo Point, and 1A, of course, Grease My Palms, is at 5-1. A double entry there. The rest are pretty much long shots. So number 4, Billy Go Lightly. Number 8, M. Malou, or Puffles rather, both at 7-2. M. Malou, number 9, is at 2-1. Oh, here's a quick flash here. So Puffles, the 8 horse, drops down to 3-1, and the double entry of J.T. Burkhart is now at 9-2. Well, I promised you I'd have some James C. Ellis trivia for you tonight, and we will get to that shortly, but not right now. I'm not ready yet. So I'll tell you once again that the first race is 6.5 furlongs long for maiden fillies and mares 3 years old and up for a purse of $3,600, and hopefully they're ready for the first race at Ellis Park. Here's track announcer Bob Jeffers.
They are at the post. They're off. Even break out of the gate. Puffle showing some early speed. From further out is Grease My Palms. Billy Go Lightly moving up the rail. Comeliest is further out. M. Milieu begins an early run. Lady Do between horses back to the outside. Henry's Choice, they continue down the back stretch. Grease My Palms is run to the front, quickly opens 2.5. Billy Go Lightly is second at the top of the turn. Comeliest is third. M. Milieu is running fourth. Puffles begins to run on the far outside to be fifth. Lady Do is sixth into the turn. Henry's Choice is seventh. Along the rail is Game Try. A couple lengths further back is Hugo Point. Boogaloo Betty. On through the turn. Up the rail, Billy Go Lightly now. Runs right past Grease My Palms to the top. M. Milieu. Puffles. Third and fourth past the quarter pole. Comeliest finds room at the rail to be fifth. Game try from further back, and we're into the stretch run. Billy Go Lightly is on the lead a couple of lengths, driving up from out of the back. Milieu comes storming down the middle of the track. Milieu down the middle now, overtaking the lead, begins to run away from Billy Go Lightly. Puffles is third from much further back. Henry's Choice behind Milieu.
Milieu takes the first at Ellis Park. I came close to pronouncing it correctly the first time. Milieu is a 3-year-old bay filly by San Filion, perhaps, San Filiou, F-E-L-I-O-U, out of Shanjar, ridden to victory by Eusebio Razo Jr. Taking the first race, returned mutuals of $6.80, $3.80, and $3. And the number 4 horse, which was, Billy Go Lightly, $4.80 and $3.60. Number 7, Henry's Choice, paid $6.80. The Quinella for the first race was a mere $12.20. And that, of course, brings us on to the second race, which was for a distance of 6 furlongs at Ellis Park. For 3-year-olds and up who have not won in '87, we have a field of 12 going postward. The claiming tag on this second race at Ellis is $2,500. Let's see that post parade. Number 1, Dana's Prince, owned and trained by Sue Garrett, ridden by Brent Bartram. Number 2, Rocky 2, T-O-O, ridden by Steve Ray. Naylee's Express, the number 3 horse, owned and trained by Wayne Heil, Jesse Garcia. Lewin Marr, Joe Deegan aboard, number 4 horse, Lewin Marr. X Magic, the number 5 horse, Mitchell Humphrey will ride this one. Number 6, Casey's Song, J.D. Hunley aboard. By the way, all horses carrying 121 pounds except number 11, which is at 11. 7, Caesar's Moment, Ron Chandler. Number 8, Dynamite Dust, Terry Warner, the jockey. Number 9, Hold Your Bid, Billy Gammon will ride number 9, Hold Your Bid. Number 10, Cyclone Mac, owned and trained by Robert M. Brown, Mike Moran, the jockey. Now here's the low and post horse at 111, is number 11, Native Commander, ridden by Kevin Albritton. Running out a field of 12, number 12, Flip Flop Kid, owned and trained by David Turns, I believe it is, or Tons, excuse me. Darrell Foster will be the jockey. Now let's go to the tote board. It was almost already up there. The morning handicapper likes 4, 2, and 8, which is Lou In Mar, Loun''Maur. That's the number 4 horse. The number 2 horse is Rocky 2. The 8 horse is Dynamite Dust. Let's see how the patrons bet them in Ellis in the second. The number 4 horse, Lou In Mar, is at 4-1. The 3 horse is at 9-2, Naylee's Express. Number 7 horse, Caesar's Moment, is at 9-2. The 8 horse, Dynamite Dust, 4-1, as well as Rocky 2 is also at 4-1 now. The number 3 horse, Naylee's Express, 9-2, and 7 is kind of Caesar's Moment. The morning handicapper didn't like them as well, I don't guess, but the patrons like them. They're both at 9-2. Well, I'll remind you again that the second race is for a purse of $3,200. It's 6 furlongs long. For 3-year-olds and up who have not won in 1987, there's a field of 12 in the race. The claiming tag is $2,500. And now, the James C. Ellis trivia. James Clinton Ellis, I like that name, Clinton, was born in Spencer County, Indiana on February 14th, Valentine's Day, 1873. When he was 8 years old, he took his first job for 10 cents a day. When he died at the age of 83, he was considered not Kentucky's, but America's wealthiest bachelor. We'll get back to that stuff in a minute. Right now, let's go to race number 2 at Ellis Park. Here's track announcer Bob Jeffers.
They are at the post. They're off. Braking alertly on the outside, Hold Your Bid. Dana's Prince comes alongside. Cyclone Mac from further out. Rocky 2 running between horses. Caesar's Moment between horses. Native Commander the far outside. Flip Flop Kid outermost of about 6. Then Loun''Maur, and they go to the top of the turn, battling for the lead. Naylee's Express on the outside. Caesar's Moment just behind Rocky 2. Up between horses, Native Commander. Flip Flop Kid is farther out. Between horses, Loun''Maur, along the rail, Dana's Prince, and they come on through the turn, battling head to head. Naylee's Express holding the head up. Caesar's Moment is challenging past the quarter pole. Native Commander's run up to be third top of the lane. Dynamite Dust begins to run between horses. We're into the stretch run. They battle head-to-head. Nailey's Express on the inside. On the outside is Caesar's Moment. Coming back, Nailey's Express. Nailey's Express now onto the front of the field. Caesar's Moment. Native Commander down the lane. Nailey's Express.
Nailey's Express wins it in the second. Nailey's Express is a 4-year-old dark bay or brown gelding by Nailey's Man out of Roma Bar, ridden to victory by Jesse Garcia. In taking the second race at Ellis, return mutuals of 1280, 720, and 560. Number 7, Caesar's Moment, came in second, $6 and $5.20. Number 11, Native Commander, the low and post horse, paid $13.20. The Quinella for this race, $39.20. The Exacta, $72 and $20. And the early daily double, $49.40. That brings us, of course, to race number 3 at Ellis Park, which was 1 mile in length. We have it was 4 rather, maiden fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. We have a field of 7 going postward. I think this is an allowance race. The purse is $6,900, was with an extra $2,800 thrown in by the Kentucky Thoroughbred Development Fund. There, I said that. Didn't think I could, did you? Brings the total purse to $9,700. Let's see the post parade in the third race at Ellis. Number 1, Touch of Majesty, owned and trained by Michael Mann, ridden by Danny Cox. Number 2, we scratch number 2 or number 3, Bo Danzig, ridden by Julie Griffith, low and post 109. Number 4 is Miss Viggy, Dana Robinson will ride this one. Number 5, Casey and Tara, or Tara, will be Jesse Garcia riding that horse. I'm lost. 6, High Spirits, William Trollo, and number 7, Balladina. Apparently, either I missed number 2 or they missed number 2, or 2 is late, and they can't seem to find number 2. So maybe it's scratched, maybe it's not. Anyway, we'll find out in a minute. The track handicap were liked 3, 6, and 5. Bo Danzig, High Spirits, and Casey and Tara in that order. Let's see how the patrons bet them in the third at Ellis Park. Number 2's in there apparently. The 6-horse Bo Danzig, the 6-horse High Spirits is at 9 to 5. The 3-horse Bo Danzig is also at 9 to 5. The 4-horse Miss Viggy is at 7 to 2. The number 5-horse Casey and Tara is 8 to 1. 1 and 2, of course, at 13 to 1. 1 is Touch of Majesty. 2 is Gypsy Maid. So it appears, well, they're almost ready. But first, a bit of James C. Ellis trivia, of course. Mr. Jim, that's what most folks called him, his friends, employees, and acquaintances. At 16, he ended his formal education, didn't go to school anymore after age 16. However, later in life, he staunchly supported education. Among the beneficiaries, among the people that got his money was Kentucky Wesleyan College, and that facility owed much of its early success in Owensboro to James C. Ellis. Of course, Wesleyan used to be in Winchester, which is in Clark County, Kentucky. But the reason it got along so well in Owensboro is because of Mr. Ellis in its early years. Let's see race number 3 at Ellis Park. Here's Bob Jeffers.
They are at the post. 0. Touch of Majesty is away with early speed. Bo Danzig runs second. Miss Viggy is third. To the backstretch, 4th, Casey and Tara. 5th is Gypsy Maid, a length and a half. Further back, High Spirits is 6th a length. Balladina. To the backstretch, Miss Viggy running up the outside, going to the top. Touch of Majesty second, a length and a half. Bo Danzig is third, a half. Casey and Tara 4th, 2 lengths. High Spirits a half. Gypsy Maid a length and a half. Balladina. Miss Viggy running along front of the field by 2.5 lengths. Touch of Majesty is second near the top of the turn. Casey and Tara is third. Bo Danzig is 4th, a half. High Spirits is 5th, 2.5. Gypsy Maid, Balladina. Through the turn, Miss Viggy is still on the lead, has a length and a half. Touch of Majesty is closing the gap. Here comes Bo Danzig, big run, with High Spirits alongside. Casey and Tara's just further back. Then Gypsy Maid, Balladina. The field is tightened up. Bo Danzig with a rush overtakes the lead. Miss Viggy is giving it up as they come to the top of the lane. Bo Danzig and High Spirits battle head to head. They're into the stretch. on the outside. A High Spirits, Bo Danzig on the inside. Their necks apart. Miss Viggy, Balladina up the rail. Down the middle of the track, Gypsy Maid. In the stretch run, High Spirits holding on to the lead, a length and a half. Bo Danzig is clearly second.
In the third, High Spirits. Under the wire first, number 3 horse is Bo Danzig. That came in the place position. The show position was number 7, Balladina. High Spirits, a 3-year-old bay filly by Avatar out of Bonnie Brave, ridden to victory by William Trollo. Taking the third race, return mutuals of $5.60, $3, and $3. The number 3 horse, Bo Danzig, $3.20, $2.80. And the show horse, Balladina, paid $4.20. In the third, the exacta price was $6.60. Well, it's that time again. After the third race, we usually go to a commercial break, and that's what we're going to do right now, keeping with tradition. So we'll be back with more racing in a minute.
At the Coachman in Wesleyan Park Plaza, Owensboro, you'll always find the best for your fella. And you'll always find the largest selection of Austin Reed suits and blazers in the tri-state. The Coachman has the most popular styles and colors, plus expert alterations from the Coachman's own tailor. Every suit is a perfect fit. Austin Reed, the very best from the Coachman. That's the Coachman in Wesleyan Park Plaza, Owensboro.
These are America's leading premium beers. They all claim to stand for something pretty impressive. But if you take away the ones that aren't naturally carbonated, and the ones that aren't fully croissant, and the ones that aren't brewed with pure artesian spring water, these two stand alone. Old Style and Old Style Light. And no matter which one you choose, you'll be enjoying America's best brewed premium beer.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time. This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
We're at the fourth race at Ellis Park this afternoon. It'll be over 1 mile for 3-year-olds and up who have not won in '87. We have a field of 12 going postward for a cleaning tag of $2,500. Let's see the post parade of the fourth race at Ellis Park. Number 1, Flame Glow, ridden by Scott Miller. Number 2, Mr. DHS, owned and trained by James C. Woodruff, Dana Robinson aboard. Number 3, Hard-Headed Henry, owned and trained by John W. Tapp. Danny Cox will ride Hard-Headed Henry. Number 4, Crafty's Last, James Beard, the jockey, owned and trained by Denver R. Moore. Number 5, Identifier, TV Ryan, the trainer, Greg Schaefer, the jockey. Number 6, R. Deek, ridden by Fred De La Guardia. Number 7, Gaelic Summer, ridden by Ron Fletcher, trained by Victor A. Doleski. Number 8, Rank Avenger, Brian Peck will be the rider of Rank Avenger. Number 9, Tracy's Pick, owned and trained by Jeffrey L. Lockhart, ridden by Steve Ray. Number 10, Spank Lucinda, ridden by Brent Bartram. Number 11, Prince Mar, ridden by Danny Soto, trained by Chris Solomon. Running out a field of 12, number 12, Penny Bell, ridden by Julie Griffith. Now, in the fourth race, the track handicapper liked numbers 3, 1, and 6, which is Hard-Headed Henry, Flame Glow, and R.D. Let's see how the patrons bet them in the fourth. Number 1 and number 3, Flame Glow, Hard-Headed Henry, both at 5-2. The number 6 horse, which is R.D., is at 4-1, and that's about it, friends. Not much else. Oh, number 12, Penny Bell at 6-1. That's not too bad. Not a whole lot going on in the 6th. Again, Flame Glow, Hard-Headed Henry, both horses going off at 5-2, I believe it was. Once again, we go to James C. Ellis, history of the fella. He became, he went to work as a laborer after quitting school at 16. Then after that went to a brick mason, working for 50 cents a day instead of a dime a day when he was 8 years old. But he said, I quit one day after a long, hard day. He became a horse and mule trader and began attending county fairs in southern Indiana and western Kentucky. Now, since he went to these county fairs, racing was often in the program at these county fairs. So what did he do? Started to run some of his horses, and thus began a love affair that lasted until his death. Well, I think we're ready for the fourth race. Here's track announcer Bob Jeffers.
They are at the post. They're off. Flame Glow away alertly. Mr. DHS between horses. Hard-headed Henry. Crafty's last showing some early speed. Penny Bell from the far outside. Gaelic Summer with some early speed, and they head on to the back stretch. Flame Glow is on an early lead, a half a length in front of Mr. DHS. Penny Bell continues to run up the outside. Gaelic Summer. Crafty's last along the rail is fifth the length. Hard-headed Henry is sixth the length and a half. Our Deke is seventh by 2. Identifier is between horses. Prince Mar moving up the rail. Tracy's picked the far outside. Spank Lucinda. Rank Avenger trails the field. As they continue to run down the back stretch, Flame Glow has a half length on Mr. DHS. Hard-headed Henry. Penny Bell. Gaelic Summer between horses. Crafty's last falling off the pace. Prince Mar finds room along the rail. They come on through the turn. Flame Glow, Mr. DHS continue to battle for the lead. They're on top 2 lengths. Hard-headed Henry, Our Deke, Prince Mar. They come on through the turn. Flame Glow still the horse to beat. Mr. DHS is second. Hard-headed Henry. Our Deke running up the outside from fourth. Prince Mar is fifth, and they're into the stretch. Flame Glow opening 4 lengths quickly on the field. Hard-headed Henry. Up the rail comes Prince Mar. Our Deke on the outside. Down the lane, Flame Glow running away from the field. Battles for second. Hard-headed Henry. Prince Mar looking for room on the inside, and Our Deke down the stretch. Flame Glow by 10.
Flame Glow. Mr. Devers had an easy call for that race. Under the wire first in the fourth. Flame Glow is a 8-year-old chestnut gelding. Still has it after 8 years. By Sir Tobin out of Summer Sizzler. Ridden to victory by Scott Miller. In taking the fourth race, it returned mutuals of 680, 360, and 320. The number 3 horse, Hard-Headed Henry, $4 and $3.20. And the show horse, number 11, Prince Mar, paid $4.80. In the fourth race, the exacta was $22.20. The Quinella was $11.20. That, of course, brings us to race number 5 at Ellis Park, which, again, was over a distance of 1 mile. For 3-year-olds and up who have never won 3 races, we have a field of 11 going postward for a claiming tag of $3,500. Let's check out the post parade in the 5th race. Number 1, turn the page here, Handy Income, Eusebio Razzo Jr. We also have a 1A here somewhere. There's 1A. J Square, both trained 1 and 1A by Jerry T. Burkhart. Danny Cox will ride J Square. Number 2, Picture Dana, Jesse Garcia aboard that one. I don't know why Dana Robinson didn't ride it. It's a perfect fit to me. Billy's Fling, the number 3 horse. Ken Becker on this one. Number 4, Running Dave. Mitchell Humphrey will ride it. Owned and trained by Shirley A. Green. Number 5, Pin Buster, ridden by Brent Bartram, trained by Stephen V. Fosdick. Number 6, Ennoble, trained by Floyd P. Landers, ridden by Billy Gammon. Number 7 will be Vision's Lad. Vision's Lad, trained by Leroy L. Hellman, ridden by Mike McDowell. Number 8, Space in the Skies. Steve Ray will ride Space in the Skies. Number 9, D. Scott, owned and trained by L.V.M. Cobb. Ron Fletcher will ride D. Scott. The number 10 horse, running out a field of 11, Yankee Waltz. Greg Foley trained it. Scott Miller rides it. The number 5th race, a track handicapped like 1, 2, and 5, Handy Income and J Square, the double 1 and 1A entry. The number 2 horse, Picture Dana, and number 5 is Pin Buster. Let's see how the patrons bet them in the 5th. The double entry of Jerry T. Burkhart is at 9-2. Quick flash. Number 7 is at 8-5. Vision's Lad. Number 5 is at 4-1. It's Pin Buster. The number 2 horse, Picture Dana, is at 5-1. The 3 horse, Billy's Fling, at 8-1. Number 7, surprising Vision's Lad, 8-5. The double entry of Jerry Burkhart is at 9-2. Once again, let me remind you, this is the 5th race. It's for 1 mile for 3-year-olds and up who have never won 3 races. The purse is $3,600. Let's go to track announcer Bob Jeffers for the call of the 5th.
They're off. Picture Dana away with early speed. Pinbuster at the middle of the track. Handy Income alongside. They move on toward the back stretch. Running Dave comes up between horses. They move to the back stretch with D. Scott moving up on the field along the rail and Noble. Back stretch. Handy Income has it a half. Pinbuster is second, 4. Picture Dana is third a neck. Running Dave fourth, a length and a half. And Noble fifth, a half. D. Scott is sixth, a length and a half. Vision's Lad is seventh by 1. Space in the Sky is a half. Yankee Waltz by 3. J Square 4. Billy's Fling, and they run to near the top of the turn. Speed is Handy Income, has a length and a half. Pinbuster second by 4. Picture Dana, big run from off the pace. Vision's Lad driving the rail. Ennoble up on the outside. D. Scott is sixth. Second Vision. J Square running from off the pace. Running Dave backing up through the field. Space in the Sky's running from off. Billy's Fling begins to run. Yankee Waltz picks it up from out of the back, and the front of the field tightens up as they run by the quarter pole. As they come to the quarter, Ennoble charging up the outside. Vision's Lad goes between horses to go head-to-head down the lane. Ennoble on the outside. Vision's Lad on the inside is coming back. From much further back, Billy's Fling running down the middle of the track. From between horses, Pinbuster. In the stretch run on the inside, Vision's Lad now coming to the front. Ennoble, Billy's Fling.
Vision's Lad wins the 5th at Ellis. Vision's Lad, a 4-year-old bay gelding out of Lad of Vision, or by Lad of Vision, out of Eat and Weep. Ridden victory by Mike McDowell. And taking the 5th race, return mutuals of $5.80, $5, and $3.60. The place horse, Ennoble, $17.60 and $8.80. And the show horse, Billy's Fling, paid $4.60. In the 5th race, the exacta was $107.60. Not a bad little payoff there. The Quinella, $96. Not bad at all either. That, of course, brings us to race number 6 at Ellis, which was 6.5 furlongs long for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, who have never won 2 races. We have a field of 8 going postward for a claiming price of $10,000. Let's see the post parade for the 6th race. Vic's Radar, the number 1 horse, ridden by Mike Moran, trained by Vicky J. Riddle. Nice black one. Silver Sarah is the number 2 horse, owned and trained by Danny E. Ridgway. Gary DeLong will ride Silver Sarah. Lucky Diplomat, the number 3 horse, Fred De La Guardia, will ride that one. Almost Straight, the 4 horse, Mike McDowell aboard. Number 5, La Spook, ridden by Colleen Tausen. Nicky, or Nissy, N-I-C-C-I, the 6 horse, Dana Robinson will ride it. Number 7 is Keys Poker, Jesse Garcia aboard, Keys Poker. And number 8, Fleeting Beauty, ridden by Brent Bartram, owned and trained by Michael R. Thompson. The 6th race again was 6.5 furlongs, a purse of $5,800 in the 6th race. And while we're waiting rather for the, no wait, I should tell you the, not James C. Ellis history. I should go to the tote board, shouldn't I? Pardon me. 3, 4, and 5 were the horses that the morning handicapper liked, or the track handicapper on the morning line. Let's see how the patrons bet them in the 6th, shall we? Getting ahead of myself. Number 3, which is Lucky Diplomat, going off at 6-5. The 4 horse Almost Straight is at 3-1, and the 5 horse La Spook is at 9-1. Number 7 horse Keys Poker is at 5-1. Fleeting Beauty, the number 8 horse, at 7-1. Almost Straight, 4 is at 3-1. Lucky Diplomat at 6-5, or 6-5. And number 5 horse La Spook is at 9-1. Okay, now we're ready for some more of that James C. Ellis trivia. Let me grab my handy little Rusty Sharp graduate course now. We're giving history lessons on the air. And let me tell you that in 1900, Mr. Jim moved to Owensboro, where he lived for the rest of his life. He invested in a lumber company and became the firm's appraiser and timber buyer. Now, a fire destroyed the company, so what does he do? To took what money he had, borrowed $1,000, and started his own business. The firm prospered, and in 1910, he began buying farmland. At his death in 1956, he owned more than 400,000 acres in Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, and New Mexico. I think we're ready for the 6th race. Here's track announcer Bob Jeffers.
They're off. From between horses, early lead Lucky Diplomat, Les Spook, Keys Poker, further out Fleeting Beauty. Silver Sarah just behind the wall of speed, 2 lengths further back Vic's Radar. Almost Straight begins to run from off the pace. Nicky, and they continue down the back stretch. Lucky Diplomat goes to the front, has it a length. Les Spook is second to the top of the turn. Keys Poker's third on the outside and a half. Silver Sarah is fourth by 1. Fleeting Beauty, Almost Straight, Vic's Radar, Nicky, and they continue to run through the turn. Lucky Diplomat holding on to a length. Les Spook is second. Silver Sarah is third to the quarter pole. Almost Straight and Fleeting Beauty moving up. Lucky Diplomat still an easy lead. Length and a half over Les Spook to the top of the lane. Into the stretch. Lucky Diplomat holds on to a couple. Les Spook is second. Almost Straight, Fleeting Beauty down the lane. Lucky Diplomat holds on to an easy 2. Les Spook is second, 3. Fleeting Beauty, Almost Straight, stretch run. Lucky Diplomat holding on 4 lengths over Les Spook.
Lucky Diplomat, Les Spook, and Fleeting Beauty in that order in the 6th race. Lucky Diplomat the winner. Lucky Diplomat is a 3-year-old chestnut filly by Smooth as Satin out of T.S. Lucky Mint, ridden to victory by Fred De La Guardia. And taking the 6th race, return mutuals of 460, 340, and 280. The place horse, which is, Les Spook, that's it, $7.80 and $4. Number 8, Fleeting Beauty, came in third and paid $4.40. In the 6th race, the exacta, $35.60 if you pick number 3 and number 5 to finish in that order. The Cornella, $22.40. Well, the race you probably tuned in for is coming up next, the Budweiser Arlington Million. Yes, I said million, right after this commercial break.
In this valley, nature can't be hurried. It takes an entire growing season to get to this day. The best takes time, which is why Heileman's old-style beer is fully krausened, slowly and naturally. Krausening is an expensive, time-consuming method of double brewing for unmatched smoothness and drinkability. Nature can't be hurried, nor do we hurry Old Style, America's best brewed premium beer.
My name is Chet Atkins, and it has been for a long time now, and I'm a guitar player.
Cinemax Sessions, the series that's consistently won critical and popular acclaim, makes musical history once again with the legendary Chet Atkins. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event. One of Nashville's most intimate halls serves as an ideal setting for top musicians to play the music they love with the man they love. The Everly Brothers, Emmylou Harris, Waylon Jennings, Mark Knopfler, Michael McDonald, Willie Nelson, and the cream of Music City's sidemen pull out all the stops on Cinemax Sessions, a session with Chet Atkins, certified guitar player.
The Budweiser Arlington Million, guaranteed $1 million. $1 million. You know how much $1 million is? It's a lot of money. That's what it is. It's the simulcast at Ellis Park this afternoon. It's running in Arlington Park in Chicago, I believe. Yes, Chicago. And it's a turf race. It's 1 1/4 miles a distance for 3-year-olds and up. We have a field of 9 going postward, and let's see that post parade. Number 1, right quick, you just missed it, Forlatano, ridden by Gary Bays. Number 2, Sherwood, Lafitte Pincay Jr. Number 9 is Glaros, I can't pronounce his name, Jean-Luc Semin, I guess. The number 6 horse, Spellbound, Sandy Hawley. And I think that's just about all we're going to get to see at the Post Parade, it appears. So let me tell you what the horses were and who rode them and all that good stuff. Number 1 is Forletano, I believe it is. Gary Baze, or B-A-Z-E is his last name. He'll be the jockey. Number 2, Sherwood, Lafitte Pincay Jr., the jockey. Number 3 is Manila. Now, Manila had a jockey change. Angel Cordero Jr. will be the jockey. Recently, it's been ridden by Jacinto Vasquez, but it lost to Talakino recently at Saratoga. There's the Manila right there. So they switched to Angel Cordero Jr., hoping that he might bring some of the magic back. The current odds at Arlington Park on Manila is 6-5. Let's see if we go on with this Post Parade here. Yes, we do. The number 5 horse is Theatrical. It'll be ridden by Pat Day, trained by William L. Mott, who used to be the assistant trainer for Jack Van Berg, the trainer for Ali Sheba this year. Number 6, Spellbound, Sandy Hawley will ride Spellbound, 35-1. What a long shot. Hope it wins. Jack Van Berg trained Spellbound, who also trained Ali Sheba. Number 7 is Rivlia, R-I-V-L-A. You can see it on your screen, of course. Chris McCarron will ride this horse. Going off at 9-1. Number 8 will be Explosive Darling, ridden by Earl Fires, F-I-R-E-S. Trained by Lou M. Goldfine. Early Fires, excuse me, is the jockey, not Earl. I can't read. Number 9, Glaros. Born in France, I believe it is. Now, I can't pronounce the jockey's name, but you can see it, so you get the idea. At 99-1, it's a long shot, folks. Glaros is trained by Thomas J. Skiffington. So there's the Post Parade at Arlington Park this afternoon. Let's see how the program selections were 3, 5, and 4. Let me wipe my sweat here. So let's see how the patrons at Ellis bet the Budweiser Arlington Million. Number 3 horse, Manila, is going off at 4-5. The 5 horse is at 2-1. That's Theatrical. The 4 horse, Dance of Life, was a late scratch, friends. Dance of Life didn't make it. It was a late scratch, so we could ignore that one. Number 2 horse, Sherwood, is going off at 6-1. Sherwood was a recent winner of a stakes race at Arlington Park, at the track, the Arlington Park turf course, just here a while back. So Sherwood may have a little advantage over some of the other horses in that it has won there recently. But anyway, I think they're just about ready for the Budweiser Arlington Million. I know you're dying to see this race. So, Steve, our director, roll it.
Glaros, one of the long shots, ready to take his place in the starting gate. And we're ready for the start of the Arlington Budweiser Million. And they're off. Manila on the inside, quickly going for the lead along with Theatrical. Forletano along the inside is next. Then comes Spellbound. Middle of the racetrack, Explosive Darling. Now passing the stands for the first time. 3 of them battle for the early lead. From between horses, it's Theatrical. On the outside, it's Glaros. And at the rail, that's Forletano. Under the wire the first time, a mile to go. On the outside, that's Spellbound getting to the front by a head. At the rail, it's Forletano in second. From between horses, Theatrical is third. Cordero content to sit in fourth toward the inside, with Manila fourth by 3 parts of a length. On the outside, Rivlia is fifth. At the rail, the roan colt Sherwood with Pincay is sixth at this point. Then 3 back to Explosive Darling, and Glaros is the trailer as they straighten away down the backstretch. It's Forletano and Gary Baze in front by half a length. Theatrical between horses. Spellbound on the outside. Those 3 tightly bunched, with Manila right there in fourth and Theatrical on the outside fifth. Sherwood at the rail saving ground in sixth. 2.5 back That's Explosive Darling and Glaros Trails. Down the backstretch after a slow quarter in 48 and 2/5 and 3/4 in 1:13 and 3. Borlatano on the inside hangs tough, but there goes Theatrical now taking command. Theatrical off to lead it by 3 parts of a length. Borlatano is second. Cordero looks for racing room between horses with Manila. On the outside, Driblia with Chris McCarran is on the move. As they move to the top of the stretch, here comes Manila, boldly moving through on the inside. Cordero finds room, cuts the corner, and takes command. The champ is back in the lead, and Manila has the lead by 2.5 lengths. Pinkai puts Cherut in gear at the rail as the Rome Cone takes second, and down the stretch they come. Manila draws off to lead it by 3. Pinkai giving chase with Cherut in second. Theatrical is third. Coming to the wire in the Budweiser Arlington Million. It's Manila grabbing it by 2.5 lengths. Cherut was second by 4. After that, it was Theatrical finished third, and Explosive Darling was fourth. Sixth on the back.
Bradley M. Shannon is a wealthy man, $1 million. He's the owner of Manila. There you can see what it paid, $360, $260, and $220 at Ellis Park. Cherut came in second, $480 and $240. Number 5 horse, Theatrical, paid $240. The Exacta at Ellis Park for the Budweiser Arlington Million, $23.40. The Quinella, $17.80. 1 million. I can't get over $1 million. I'll never see $1 million. I don't make $1 million in my life unless I win some lottery somewhere, which I've been trying that, by the way. The number 7th race, which is what we're up to now. The excitement's over. Manila won it. So we go on the number 7 at Ellis Park. It'll be 7 furlongs for 3-year-olds, period, with a field of 8 going postward for a claiming tag of $15,000. Let's see the post parade for the 7th race at Ellis Park. The number 1 horse is Beau's Image, ridden by Brent Bartram. The 2 horse, Solvent, ridden by Patrick Johnson, trained by Burke Kessinger Jr. Number 3, Sovereign Diplomat, Larry Melicon, the jockey. Number 4, Fred's Rialto, ridden by Darrell Foster. Number 5, Senior Warrior, Mike Moran will ride Senior Warrior. Number 6, Tiger Country, ridden by Scott Miller. Number 7, Laser Like, Mike McDowell will ride Laser Like. Running out a field of 8, number 8, Rogo, ridden by Danny Cox, trained by Darrell W. Davis. In the 7th race, we're going 7 furlongs. The total purse, or the purse rather, is $7,200 for 3-year-olds. There's 8 in the race, and let's see if track announcer Bob Jeffers is ready for the call of the 7th at Ellis Park. I'm sorry, I skipped a tote board, didn't I? 4, 8, and 3. Excuse me, Steve Glass. I'm losing my mind. He's laughing now. 4, 8, and 3. The 4 horse, 7 to 2. That's Fred's Rialto. I can't believe they did that. 8, Rogo is at 4 to 1. The 3 horse, Sovereign Diplomat, is at 4 to 1. Rusty Sharp is really mad at me now, I'm sure. Well, let me tell you again, 7 furlongs for 3-year-olds. The claiming tag is $15,000. The purse is $7,200. I think I'm failing the graduate course here at today at Ellis Park. Now, hopefully, Steve Glass and Bob Jeffers are ready for the 7th race at Ellis Park.
They are at the post. They're off. Out of the chute swiftly is Solvent getting the early lead. Fred's Rialto is just off the pace. Beau's Image among the first 3. Running the far outside of Rogo goes head-to-head for the lead. Laser Like comes up between horses, the first 5 a length apart. Gap of length to Senior Warrior, Tiger Country, Sovereign Diplomat. Near the top of the turn, Solvent holding the head up. Rogo alongside, they're on top of length. Beau's Image third into the turn. Laser Like fourth between the horses. Fred's Rialto is 5th, 2 lengths. Sovereign Diplomat has run up to be 6th. A length further back, Senior Warrior, the Trader's Tiger Country. They're midway through the turn, new leader, Rogo. Beau's Image comes up the outside to go head-to-head with Solvent. They're at the quarter pole. Rogo, the horse to beat. Solvent. Beau's Image. Fred's Rialto driving up the outside to be fourth, and they're into the stretch run. Laserlike takes fifth. Down the lane, the field begins to tighten again. Rogo, Beau's Image, Solvent looks for room. Fred's Rialto on the outside. Rogo, Beau's Image coming right back. Rogo, Beau's Image running swiftly up the outside to take the lead.
Beau's Image. Did you hear Bob Jeffers' chair squeak at the end? You know it's a close race now when that chair squeaks. Beau's Image wins it. Beau's Image, a 3-year-old chestnut gelding, by going straight out of a real head turner. Ridden to victory by Brent Bartram, taking the 7th race, returned mutuals of 1520, 840, and 480. The place horse was Rogo, 640, 420. Number 2 came in third, Solvent, 440. The Exacta, $78.20, and the Quinella, $40.20. Well, that's the 7th race at Ellis, and that brings us to the 8th race at Ellis, which is a distance of 6.5 furlongs for 3-year-olds and up who have never won $7,250 twice, other than maiden, claiming, or starter since September 10th, 86. Figure that out. We'll just say 3 years old and up, shall we? There is no claiming tag. It's an allowance race. The purse is $8,200 plus $3,300 kicked in by KTDF, and we have a field of 7 going postward. Let's see the post parade. 1A is Fleet Count. Johnny Booker trained 1 and 1A. Joe Deegan. Perhaps we'll see 1. No, we won't. Number 2, Rubik, ridden by Dana Robinson, low and post at 108. Number 3, 4 Tracks, ridden by Patrick Johnson. Number 5 horse, 4-horse Broadway Willie, Mike McDowell aboard. Number 5, Crimson Slew, ridden by Travis Hightower. And number 6, Dusty Proof, ridden by Eusebio Razzo Jr. And yes, I know the odds board, the tote board, comes up next, doesn't it? I almost forgot again. The track handicapper liked 4, 1, and 3 on the morning line. And let's see how the patrons bet them at Ellis. Go to the tote board. Oh, yeah, I remembered. Number 4 horse, Broadway Willie, it's at 6-5. Number 1, Doctorum and Fleet Count. Now, I don't know if Doctorum, I didn't see it in the post parade, perhaps it's a scratch. But anyway, they're both going off at 8-1. Number 3 horse, 4 Tracks, is at 5-1. And it's the 8th race. And let me go back to the Mr. James Clinton Ellis history, shall we? In 1926, he bought some land in Ohio County, Kentucky. Married. However, he didn't manage money very well. But one of his friends say, in fact, his friend Fred Miles from Louisville, a business associate as well, said he was considered a man who managed money with magic hands. But his racehorses one thing that Ellis never made a dime on, according to Miles. But many who knew him would quickly point out that in spite of all his business success, he got the most pleasure from his comparatively small stable of horses and his little racetrack at Henderson. Ellis raced thoroughbreds at Dade Park after it opened in 1922. Dade Park, of course, the original name of Ellis Park. When the track went into receivership in 1924, he bought it and personally kept it going through the hard times. Those who knew him say it embarrassed Ellis to be called the richest man in Kentucky, but he'd preen shyly when they asked about his racetrack. In 1954, 2 years before his death, sports writers pressed him at a luncheon, why don't he change the name to James C. Ellis Park? And he said, it's all right with me if it's what you fellows want. So they did it. Now we're ready for the A.M. Fisher Stakes for a purse of $27,500 total purse. Bob Jeffers, call the race, please.
Post. They're off. As they run down the back stretch, Sophia's Choice has moved on to an early lead. Sweet Monica from the outside as they run down the back stretch. Up between the horses goes Miss Swanky. They continue down the back stretch. Strata running from off. Nancy's Red Lass running from farther out, and they run to near the top of the turn. Peerless Forms coming up the rail. Just Kiss Me begins to run from off as they go near the top of the turn. Jay's Fine Gal looking for racing room. Up between horses comes In Some. Treading the field is Lawrence Tap Shoes, and they move on through the turn. On the lead, Sophia's Choice, has it by a length and a half. On through the turn. Sophia's Choice coming up on the outside is Punk Tatum, driving toward the leader as they come to the top of the lane. Into the stretch from far to back, Strata's found room from between horses. Just Kiss Me begins to run. From much farther back comes In Some. As we come down the lane, Sophia's Choice holding on to the lead about a length and a half. Now it's just a length as they come down the stretch. Sophia's Choice holding on to the lead. Punk Tatum clearly second.
Sophia's Choice wins the A.M. Fisher Stakes at Ellis Park, the 9th and featured race today at Ellis Park. The victor in the 9th, Sophia's Choice. She's a 2-year-old dark bay or brown filly by Clever Tell, I believe that's right, out of Ashley's Miss. Ridden to victory by Patrick Johnson. And taking the 9th race, return mutuals of $7.80, $5, and $3.80. The number 8 horse, which is Punk Tatum, came in second, $13.40 and $8.40. And number 5, Strata, the show horse, paying $8.20. The exacta in the 9th race, $124 even. Now that, of course, brings us to the number 10 race. And let me flip the page here. I'm lost. Number 10 race, the 10th race, 6 furlongs. The purse is $3,600 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. The claiming tag is $2,500. Let's see the post parade, which has 11 horses in it for number 10 race. Number 10 race. Number 1, Knee Highs. Dana Robinson aboard, trained by Freddie Burton. We have a 1 and 1A entry. Number 1A is Silver Plaid. Julie Griffith will ride this one, both trained by Freddie Burton. The 2-horse, Dizzy Flight. Debbie Sanders aboard Dizzy Flight. Number 3, Tiger V, ridden by Danny Soto, trained by Jerry T. Burkhart. Number 4, Luckification. Luckification, yes. William Trello, the jockey. Number 5, Doug's Date. Brian Peck aboard Doug's Date. Annie B. Tudor, the number 6 horse, Fred de la Guardia, will ride Annie B. Tudor. Number 7, F-R-I-T-I-L-L-A-R-I-A-N, Battalion, I guess. Ken Becker aboard. Number 8, Where's Midge. Number 9, Bottom Dollar. And number 10, My Place. Number 10, ridden by Steve Bass. Number 9 horse, Bottom Dollar, will be ridden by Jesse Garcia. Where's Midge, ridden by Henry Minor. Well, the morning line, we liked 10, 9, and 4, the track handicapper says. Number 10 horse, My Place. Number 9, Bottom Dollar. The number 4 horse, Luckification. Let's see how the patrons bet them in the 10th and final race at Ellis Park. The number 5 horse, Doug's Date, going up at 5-2. Number 10 horse, My Place, is at 9-2. The number 4 horse, Luckification, is at 2-1. Number 2 horse, Dizzy Flight, 7-1. Bottom Dollar, the 9 horse, is at 8-1. Quick flash here. Not much change. Fratarian, I can't say this. It's 7-1. The 7 horse is at 7-1. Number 10 horse, My Place, now at 5-1. So anyway, let me remind you again that the 10th race, the purse is